Love to the family, love to the tribe. Thank you for choosing up and surfing this wave with me. You know, I know you got anywhere else to be, anywhere else you can fly in your frequency. And I appreciate you for flying with the drop, flying with Drop Nation, surfing the wave, becoming water. At all times, man, Esteban Esteban, Esteban the Moor. We're learning a lot about Esteban the Moor. You know, when we first watched the series, we didn't really know that much about Esteban. We didn't know how trill they were keeping it in the Chronicle of Akakor, the mysterious cities of gold, and Love the Turtle Gang for dropping this on his channel and, you know, shedding some light. God is digging more into our indigenous drop. Y'all go click on that link, man. Subscribe to the backup channel because we're dropping so much drop that's connecting to this. That Horace Butler drop, man. And so much more. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Horace Butler's connecting South America, you know, the Jordan, Atlantic, Moab, and the Moabite lands, and, you know, near Brazil, south of the Atlantic. You remember Esteban said, hey, you know, I feel kind of cozy in South America. I feel like I'm from here. Well, see, there were lots given to many of Abraham's seed, and it was up to them to decide if they were satisfied with those lots, the children of Lot. Esteban the Moor. Love to the family that sent this in, man, and this is another great link on Esteban. And clearly you see this brother here, Esteban the Moor. You see his hair? All right. This is Esteban. Now you're going to see the series. We'll continue in, I think we're on like, you know, part 9 or something like that. You know, we've been jumping around, but, you know, we're just surfing the wave, as you know, getting the energy out. So let's just go. Let's just go. Clearly they're going to give you a whole other image of all this stuff in the cartoon that we're about to see. But I want you to see an image, you know, it's only a few images that you're really going to see of this Esteban. They call him an enslaved North African Moor, right? Made the first contact with the native people, right? So, you know what I'm saying? These people native to this particular Cibola, this particular area that we're about to be talking about, all right? So he made his first contact with the native people of what is now the American Southwest. Cibola. We're talking about Cibola, Kalelus. Alright, hopefully you caught all up with the drop. If you're belly flopping, put on your rain boots. Let's go. It's about to get wet. Drop. Fraught with misunderstandings, that encounter led to Esteban's ultimate untimely demise in 1539. Misunderstanding, we're about to get into that again, and prefigured the violence that would characterize the Spanish conquest and subsequent colonization of the region. So in other words, this Esteban, North African, remember this link right here, we called it Estebanico, a North African slave assigned to Fray Marcos de Niza's expedition, was the first non-native, so he wasn't native, to visit Hawiku. Hawiku is New Mexico. Cibola, cities of gold, Four Corners. In 1539, he was killed when he unwittingly, when he did some dumbass shit by alarming the Zuni tribesmen. Remember, you know, get the wave, get all that drop. This is part 7, man. Chronicle Akakor, El Dorado, Lost Negro, City of Gold. Zuni connecting to Zebulon tribesmen with decorations that symbolize death. So, you know, we've connected Zuni with Zebulon. So when we're talking about the tribes of Israel, when we're talking about Kalelus, the promised land, which is Cibola, all through that great link Forbidden Histories left to Selma, Zuni tribesmen, he was killed when he unwittingly alarmed Zuni tribesmen or Israelites with decorations that symbolize death. Now they got You know, in the cartoon, calling him a savior. You know, he's the sun, child of the sun. He brings the sun out, the sun, the sun. He symbolizes the sun. Well, yeah, he's the Moor, symbolizing the sun, symbolizing Zeus. And he brought symbols, decorations of death. And he was killed in 1539. How we cool. Francisco Vasquez de Coronado. So we got some of that Coronado up here for you as well. Great link. What does it say? 1540 to 1542, from the city of Mexico to the Grand Canyon of the Colorado and the Buffalo Plains of Texas, Kansas, and Nebraska. Translated and edited. All right, so this is the journey of Coronado. Yeah, we got the translation of the letter from Coronado to Mendoza. Remember Mendoza all throughout the series. He's supposed to be helping Esteban. Esteban trusts him, but he's only using Esteban to get to the gold. Yeah, we're going to get some of this. We're going to get the letter of Mendoza as well. You know what I mean? Man, this is a beautiful thing. Love to y'all. I told y'all, stay active. Keep moving. Keep moving. This is a very important time right now. Keep moving no matter what. Keep moving. Do it for yourselves. Do it for your creator. Do it for your family. Do it for everything good that you've ever thought. Every good thought you've ever thought. Do it for that. Do it for every good vision you've ever had of yourself. Everything you thought you could be. Everything you thought life could be. Do it for that. Stay positive. Keep flowing. Esteban, an enslaved North African, made the first contact with the native peoples of what is now the American Southwest, fraught with misunderstandings, right? He brought what? He brought what? Decorations that symbolize death in how we cool. How we cool. Zuni Cibola. Kalelu, Cibola, Shimbala, Cibola, Shimbala. Come on. Estebanico. So he said these misunderstandings of death, that encounter led to Esteban's untimely demise in 1539 and prefigured the violence that would characterize the Spanish conquest. So are they saying that because this Moor Esteban was killed by these Israelites? Remember the Moab and the Israelite wars that been going on, man, been going on, thousands of years been going on. Prefigured, it prefigured the violence. So because he took an L by this Zuni community, these people that are living in the promised land, in Kalalus. Remember, the promised land is wherever their people are promised by blood, by inheritance. He's the first non-native. The first non-native to visit Hawiku. We're just talking Kalalus, which means what? Promised land. Let's get that right quick. In the Forbidden Histories of America, let's belly flop to 63, 62. Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Forbidden Histories of America. This is a cold piece of work right here, man. Download it. I'll leave the link. If you ain't got it out the library already when we dropped it. Alright, Jewish Catholic State in America. Jewish Catholic State in America. No, Israelite Kingdom in America. It tells us some very interesting things that, in my understanding, brings many things into perspective concerning the many rumors of early voyages to this land. In the article, it tells of Kalalus, meaning promised land. Kalalus means promised land in one sense, and or Kalix, which is the land of America. All right, we got Theodore Roos, Israelite king, 775, reconquering it. The king of Septimania. Sept is seven cities of gold. Ame'rican. Let's go back. We're just doing super fast recaps. You get it. You get it. You get it, then you got it. If you got it, then you get it. All right, let's go. Yeah, we got that Clovis, man. Clovis Blaze. We're talking about Lake Capola, the treasures of Utah. Sivola. We got on this Marcus, Marqui, Niza, the friar, Sept, king of Sept, seven cities. Sivola, Sept, seven. Now, again, man, all this water in Utah. 7 cities of Cibola. Granada Nova. 7 cities of Cibola. It is quite obvious they were lacking in this seeming well-guarded secret of the land of Kalalus or Cibola. So Kalalus and Cibola are interchangeable, and we just got here that Kalalus means what? Oh yeah, India plays, but Kalalus meaning promised land, land of America. Sept, 7 cities. Let's go. So, all right, Zuni or Zebulun or tribes or Israelites, Cibola, Kalalus, promised land. So this guy was the first non-native to visit this promised land, and he was killed there. And they're saying here that it prefigured the violence. It jumped off. They're saying, oh, that's why it got violent. Nah, it was violent because they are violent. They are chaos. Chaos is chaos. But it prefigured, it pre-shaped the violence. So killing this dark Moor, when he brought decorations of death that symbolize death. Francisco Vasquez de Coronado, we got in Coronado, conquered the Pueblo in 1540. Now this is a year after Esteban was so-called killed, but again they said that no one saw him die. That's just a report, right? They're reporting he died. I don't see the body, right? Hoping it was one of the legendary 7 cities of gold, 7 cities of Cibola. Oh man, we're getting back in all the drop of the mysterious cities of gold, 7 cities of Cibola. Cibola is Kalalus, meaning promised land. Let's go. Esteban's experience as a survivor of the failed Panfilo de Narvaez expedition to Florida in 1528 made him a natural choice to lead an exploration into the fabled lands of the north. So he's exploring it for them. Remember the treaties. He's exploring it for them. And the death of him, they said, prefigured the violence that would characterize the Spanish conquest and subsequent colonization of the region. Oh, really? So they wanted get back for their man dying. So they cranked up the violence. Is that what we're hearing? Is that what we're hearing, people? Because of Esteban Nico, child of the sun? Oh yeah, Thoth in the making. Let's go. Thoth frequency. Let's go. Esteban's experience as a survivor, so they chose him to lead this expedition on lands of the north of what is now called northern Mexico, as well as Arizona and New Mexico, fleeing from fierce attacks launched by the Apalache. Esteban and his master, he had a master, Captain Andres de Dorantes, along with Alvar Nunez Cabeza de Vaca and 13 others sailed west through the Gulf of Mexico on quickly constructed barges. They landed on a sandbar off Galveston Island, Texas, where Karankawa Indians enslaved the explorers. So then they were enslaved by more indigenous people. They kept getting their asses kicked by indigenous people, 4 of whom survived and managed to escape 5 years later in 1539. So in 1528, he led this expedition, tried to get some drop on you. He got jammed up, and only 4 survivors. He was one of the 4 survivors. They escaped in 1534. 1536, the survivors and their retinue of 600 Indian escorts came across a Spanish slaving expedition, a chance meeting that ended their 8-year-long, 15,000-mile sojourn. So they got rescued by chance. The seemingly miraculous return of the intrepid survivors turned the attention of Spanish colonial administrators in Mexico City toward the mysterious North, which had long been rumored to harbor a treasure to rival that of the Aztecs. Or was it all the same? All right. When the 3 European survivors refused to lead an expedition to the north, so they said, nah, man, we don't want to go there. Apparently, it was some real ones over there. Don Antonio de Mendoza. All right, we got Mendoza. So Mendoza plays. The Viceroy of New Spain. All right. Engaged the services of Esteban, purchasing him from Dorantes. Protocol demanded, however, that a slave could not lead an expedition. Hence, Mendoza persuaded a Francisco friar, Marcos de Niza, to at least nominally head the venture. And now you got this, guy, Marcos de Niza here, and in the Forbidden History document. You have again the Marcos de Niza right there on the map. Marcos Niza. All right, Marcos de Niza, Marcos Niza. So all his plays in multiple documents and manuscripts, and it's amazing to see it all come together. All praise our creator, Hawa, Hawa. I mean, we're just talking we cool, Hawa, we cool, Hawa, we cool. The Zuni Cibola, Kalelus, the Promised Land, Hawa, Iku, the go. Alright, so, we got this Marcos de Niza. The group set out in 1539 by prior agreement. Esteban traveled several days ahead of Fray Marcos, leaving behind him a trail of crosses of varying sizes corresponding with his findings. A trail of crosses, leaving behind him a trail of crosses of varying size, corresponding with his findings. So he left behind a trail of crosses. So now when you're finding all these crosses, you thinking the indigenous, a group set out in 1539 by prior agreement. Esteban, child of the sun, Esteban, traveled several days ahead of Fray Marcos, leaving behind him a trail of crosses of varying size corresponding with his findings. So maybe if it's a big finding, he left a big cross. Alright, Esteban returned to his previous roles as healer, interpreter, go-between, and son of the sun. Is this baby black Jesus that they're basing, He clearly is, rocking that. He is Zeus. Let's go. Convinced of Esteban's healing powers, some 300 natives joined his retinue and provided him with numerous presents. All went well until he reached Hawiku, a Zuni or Zebulon pueblo located just east of the present Arizona-New Mexico border, man. And you grow up right here, with all this drop here, and you think you came from a whole nother continent when they just found you in the New World, and people that looked like you was working for them to try to get the drop on you, and it was war between Moor and Moor. Oh, to be Moor is great. To be Moor is great. So greatness, I got nothing against greatness. But I got something against certain tribes that have not repented and have not gotten order and do not see the order. I love my bros, I love my sisters, but if you're in a tribe that's trying to rock us back to sleep and put us back in the black hole, and this is your MO, and you've always flowed with chaos and made deals with the devil, then yeah, it's only, suitable that you follow suit with this guy, Esteban. You feel like Joshua invaded you? Well, clearly we see the, lineage of the invader, the invasion, and the treaties between the two. All went well until he reached Hawiku, a Zuni pueblo located just east of the present Arizona-New Mexico border. He sent a message ahead stating that he was coming to establish peace and heal them. Pueblo elders responded with the warning he must not enter the village. Don't enter, man. Don't bring decorations of death, man. Esteban, my brother. My Moroccan brother. He is from Morocco, right? Let's make sure. Yeah, born 1500 from Azemmour, Morocco. Esteban the Moor, also known as Mustafa Zimori. Let's go. Mustafa Zimori. Great link, family. Thank you, Drop Nation, for continuing to supply so much water and energy to the framework, to the wave. So they sent him a warning. You don't enter the village. To his detriment, Esteban ignored the warning. Word of his death reached Fray Marcos, who gazed at Hawiku from afar, then headed back to Mexico City, claiming to have discovered the fabled Golden City of Cibola, Calelus, Promised Land. Yeah, the Promised Land, the same Promised Land, man, the same Promised Land. Cibola, Marconiza, Septimania, the same Promised Land. The same Promised Land you've been fighting for, they've been trying to take. No one's satisfied with their lots. Lot's not satisfied with lots. Lot wants it all. Lot wants treaties. But nah, things must be reconquered. In 1775, Nehemiah Theodorus reconquered the American Empire of Calelus. Calelus, Cibola, remember Promised Land, right? Calelus was ruled by Sylvanus Totexus, Solomon the Builder, the hereditary ruler of this former, they say Jewish, we know Israelite, they say Romani, we say Roma, India, Romani, the Indies, who was Prester John colony, the former Israelite Indian colony. Calelus was founded in the 1st century BC by the Babylonian exarch known as Sylvanus Ogam or Sylvanus Brabo, Solomon II Babylonian exarch. Nasi of Mara, ruler of Sumer, Somerset in Britain, a great Roman Jewish ruler? No, Romani, Israelite ruler, fighting for the Promised Land in 775, fighting for Calelus in 775. Solomon the Builder. Yeah, El Stebanico trying to roll up on lands that have been fought for in 775. You come over here in 15 such and such, 1520s and 30s, trying to creep up on the what? Golden City of Cibola? Golden City of Calelus? The same Calelus that these warrior Davidic princesses of the time of Charlemagne, 765, 775, were reconquering, ruled by Solomon the Builder, hereditary ruler by seed, Israelite kings, priest kings, golden city of Cibola. I told you it was your gold. Native people, Esteban was, though they took Esteban's life, the Zunis memorialized him in a black ochre kachina named Kakwena. Interesting. They memorialized him in something called Kakwena. We got time, Let's surf the way. What's that mean? Southern Crossroads. What's that? Ah, wait. I see some images. What is Kakwena? Interesting. Southern Crossroads spotlight in 1529. Spanish explorer Alvar Núñez Cabeza de Paco and 3 of his companions survived a shipwreck at the mouth of what is now known as the Mississippi River. Esteban, a black Moorish slave, was among the survivors for 7 years. The 4 Spaniards wandered across the continent, leaving among native peoples in 1536. They straggled into the Spanish settlement of Culhuacan in northern New Spain, northern Mexico City. The following year, eager for gold and converts to Catholicism, Viceroy Antonio de Mendoza chose Esteban the Moor to accompany Fray Marcos de Niza on an expedition north. So, all right, dressed in skins and exotic apparel, carrying a gourd and a copper rattle, Esteban traveled ahead of Fray Marcos de Niza. His mission was to prepare the native inhabitants for the approaching Spaniards. His mission was to pacify you. And this is supposed to be the Kakwana. And this is what the natives memorialized them with, this type of artwork here. Wow, man. What does it mean? Esteban the Moor. So this is all about Esteban the Moor. Take a picture. Because when you get in this cartoon, you're going to see a whole other image. So you dig on it. I'll leave this great link, man. You bookmark it. Kakwana. All right, let's just get it. So the Zunis memorialized him in a black ochre kachina named Kakwana. Alright. To the native peoples, Esteban was the harbinger of the European conquest to come. Harbinger of death. He brought decorations of death.